guys, the time has come. There's another In the Balm of Your Hand palette. Volume 2, Greatest Hits from TheBalm, which is, of course, one of my favorite makeup brands. I'm so excited. I called this. I knew when they came out with the Volume 1, which was back, I think it was 2015 holiday season. Yeah, not this past Christmas, but the one before this one came out. And I knew when they called it Volume 1, I totally thought there should be a Volume 2, and now it's out. And I am so excited to give you my review about it in this video. Now, this palette was sent to me by TheBalm, but you guys know I would have gone out and sought it out myself even if it hadn't been. Like, I am so excited. Part of my love for this kind of palette is not just from enjoying this brand and generally loving what they do, but it's the whole theory behind this that I wish so many other brands would get on board with, and it is putting their existing products into a palette form so you can actually, like, I don't know, get a sense of what's really offered from this brand, or if you already love this brand, it's kind of nice to have everything all in one place. Limited edition stuff is cool, you know, the things that are out for a little while and they come and go. I get it, it's exciting, but I, even more than that, value when a brand is willing to put their actual formulas, like just as good as the original products, into one big palette and let you see, like, hey, this is what we're about, this is what we can do, these are our best-selling products. I love that. This is the original one, this is the new one. Just physically looking at the outer packaging, they seem to be the same size. However, do you guys recall with the original, there was this extra flap here with 2 cream products in it. One of the shades from How About Them Apples palette and also a Balm Girls lipstick. Here, they sort of spaced the products out a little bit more, and not only did they do away with the cream products under the flap, but there's nothing else to really replace those, so to speak, either. So you're getting 2 products less in this palette compared to this one. But that is reflected in the price, and I think that's kind of what's important. I look back at my old review, this one sold for $39.50, and this one, the newest one, is $32. So at least you know that if you're getting less product, you're paying less for the palette altogether. Now, as far as the original, though, if you're really interested in that, that's not being sold on TheBalm's website, which is where the new one is, but I found it on Amazon. It's being sold through Beauty Bridge on Amazon for $37.55. So it is even marked down a little bit from that original $39.50 price tag. So it's not completely 100% off the market if you are interested in that original, and I'll go ahead and link below to my full review on that one. For the Volume 2, the outer packaging, they kind of kept a similar theme to the original because it's like a collage of the outer packagings of so many different products in their line. You do have a nice big mirror on the inside, and it's overall just that like cardboardy packaging design that TheBalm usually has with their palettes. What I like about that is it's kind of lightweight, it's very slim, there's not a lot of wasted space with a product like this. And then on the inside, what's neat about the products, and they did this with the original too, they are bordered basically with the original packaging that all of these things came in. So like the eyeshadows, you can see kind of the theme from each palette that they came from. And as far as the blushes, you know the blushes from TheBalm really each have their own identity. So the way they were originally packaged, that's kind of what they look like here sitting in this palette. So the eyeshadows you're getting, one is from the Meet Matrimony palette, and that's Matte Reed. It's a really dark matte brown. You're getting Firm from the Nude Dude palette, kind of a murky shade, kind of a light brown, dusty bronze type color. You're getting Alice Copper from the Balm Jovi palette, one of my favorite shades from that palette. This is a rich burgundy shade that really shows true to color on the eyes. Like, it looks even more reddish, burgundy, rich on the eyes than you would even expect, you know, because you look at it in here and some shades just get so dark that you can't really see the color. This doesn't simply look dark on the eyes. That really has a burgundy intensity. And then you've got from the Meet Matador palette, Matte Russo, completely matte shade here. It's going to be like a light brown, dusty rose mix. Beautiful crease color. And then you've got the Mary Luminizer Highlight, and that could definitely fall in with your use of the other eyeshadows. You can use it as an eyeshadow, you can use it as a highlight. And then down here, we've got Bahama Mama Bronzer, a matte bronzer, Down Boy Blush, which is a matte cool pink blush, Frat Boy Blush, which is a matte peachy pink, it's the essence of peachy pink, and then an in-stain blush in the color Houndstooth, kind of a nice mauvey plum on the cheeks. Amazing staying power with that line of blushes, and really with all of them. I have compared these quality-wise, just pigmentation-wise, with the original blushes that I have in my collection, it's exactly the same. And that was one of the things I loved about this palette too, was that they weren't like watering down their products just to put them in a palette. They're really showing you what they can do. And I'm thinking they're hoping they snag some more lovers of their brand, you know, by putting in top quality products into a palette form like this. So yeah, I think it's totally for the person who loves the Balm and collects the Balm and wants to just keep up with their new palettes. And it's fun to have all of these things all in one. But I think it's even more important for the person who's new to the Balm to get a palette like this, because the value is insane. Take it from someone who owns these products individually, uses them regularly all the time. They're always in my rotation. I've had them for quite a while and I've not hit pan yet on any of these. So getting them in a palette, albeit mini-sized in here, I still don't think you would run out of these anytime soon. So it's a tremendous value to have them all in that same like top quality formula, and then you've got the eyeshadows up here as well. Let's talk overlap for a second. This may bother some people. It bothered me a little bit, honestly, at the start as I was kind of comparing and analyzing these two palettes, but you're getting a couple of things overlapping here with the Bahama Mama bronzer and the Mary Luminizer. Those two were both part of the original palette. And at first I thought, well, gosh, you know, maybe they should have swapped those out for something different. But then I think, but what would they have put in here? Because Bahama Mama is like the Balm's bronzer. That is their one kind of bronzer contour type powder. And if they just put a random blush in there, let's say in place of that product in the new palette, it would have suffered some versatility wise for me, because the fact that they're giving you this distinct highlight shade, a choice of blushes, and a bronzer contour color, that makes it very versatile. It's doing a lot for you. And if I really want to be honest with myself, like I own all of these products individually already, so I guess I've already shown that I'm not really too upset about having multiples. I think what's nice is just having the different combination of shades overall in a small palette that you can pick up and take with you, or a very giftable palette. I gifted this original one to several people around the holidays when it first came out, and everybody loved it. In the original, shadow-wise, they were giving you kind of a grayish color, a rose gold, a deep matte burgundy, an olive, and then again the Mary Luminizer shade. Here, I feel like this one is all about the plummy look, because you've got this Alice Copper shade, which I cannot resist reaching for that color anytime I use this, and it shears out and creates such a pretty, like, I don't know, plummy, rich, fall, winter depth to the eye. I love that. But this matte brown falls in line with that too so well, and also kind of amps up the look, gives you a really rich, dark look. I mean, the Balm's powders are some of the best quality powders, like the quality of their shadows, quality of the blushes, some of the best out there. I really can't think anybody would have complaints about how well these shadows apply, wear, blend. They're so rich, they're so good. Now you could do a look and you could leave out Alice Copper entirely, and you could get less of a burgundy vibe with it. I mean, I could see Mary Luminizer being on your lid, Matte Russo or Firm being on your crease, and then maybe a little darkness or a little liner with this deepest brown. But the way I like to use it and the way I'll show you in my demo, I love this Meet Matador shade in the crease. It's that rosy warmth, and then blending some Alice Copper kind of on my lid, the outer part of my lid, and up into that shade. While these are shades that are not uncommon to my collection, I really love them. I just love having this grab and go selection of products from the Balm, and it's easy, it's portable, and I do know that I've got a contour, a highlight, 3 blushes to choose from, a shadow look that I know I'm gonna like. I mean, I think it's a great value. $32 too. I mean, in the current palette landscape, that's a pretty good buy. So I wanna walk you through how I use this for my look today. I've got my foundation and concealer and a little bit of powder on at the start, and then I used Bahama Mama as my contour. I used it in the hollows of the cheeks, used it around the hairline, anywhere else you wanna bronze up. You know, it's a nicely pigmented, fully matte bronzer. And then I used the In-Stain blush in Houndstooth, which is going to be your deepest blush in this palette, and I put that a little bit lower on my cheek than, you know, the full-on apple of the cheek, and I just got that all blended out, and I chose to use Frat Boy as this nice pop right on the apple of the cheek. That is such a solid blush for just about anybody. I love that shade, but Down Boy is gorgeous too. Down Boy is like that youthful baby's blush flush, so I love them both. Then I took my Mary Luminizer highlight with a small highlighter brush. I used that right on the top of the cheek, cheekbones down to the top of the apple of the cheek, down the nose, anywhere else on your face you want to highlight. Looks gorgeous. I love that Mary Luminizer came out so far before the real highlighting trend started, yet it can still hang with every popular highlight that's out there. Then for my eyes, I prep my lids with my Milani eyeshadow primer, and I used the Meet Matador color Matte Russo in my crease, and I just buffed that out very easily. It's such an easy shade to work with. Not too light, not too dark. I used Mary Luminizer as a highlight on my brow bone, and then I also patted some of that on about the inner third of my lid. And then my plan was to overlap that a little bit with Alice Copper on the rest of the lid. So I used a flat brush and I just dabbed that shade all over. So gorgeous. Wedge it up into the crease just a little bit. After I've done that, I like bringing in, again, like a Sigma E25 type brush, blending that shade upward into the crease. It does have some mobility because it is such a richly pigmented shade. So you're patting it on the lid. It can very easily from there blend up into your crease, and it combines so nicely with Matte Russo. That's a gorgeous duo of shades side by side. Then I took a little bit of Matte Reed. I didn't really need to do this, but I just thought I'd throw some of that into my outer corner. And then on my lower lash line, I smudged some Alice Copper as well as the color called Firm. It's kind of this murky, like dirty bronze color, and I just used that on my lower lash line. I finished off my look with some black liquid liner on my upper lash line and some Red Cherry number 43 false lashes. And my lip color, if you're wondering, is a mix of L'Oreal's Mastermind matte lip liner here. This is just a nice neutral colored lip liner, and I mixed in with that, especially on the center of the lip. I'm wearing their matte Color Riche lipstick in Matte Caroon. So that's giving me that little bit of like pinky, I don't know, pinky pop, but a very subtle nude pinky pop there on the lower lip. So you guys know, this kind of look is my jam. I love these sorts of colors. I think they really did put in some great shades in this palette. The only thing that would have made me like this more is probably if they just decided to throw in like a couple more shadows or still give you like the amount of products that were in the original, but I can't be too ticked off about it because the price is so good. You know, they went down from $39.50 to $32. So I think they did reflect the lesser amount of product with the lower price of this. But I'm gonna love reaching for this thing. I'm gonna love traveling with this. I mean, I think overall, the choice of blushes in this palette, I definitely think I like these 3 blushes better than the 3 that were even in the other. And I love them all, but if I had to like hand pick my favorites, I do love Down Boy. I love Frat Boy. Those give you 2 distinctly different looks on the cheeks. And then this In-Stain blush in Houndstooth. I mean, think of all the skin tones that could effectively wear that as a blush. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a good solid look at the new In the Balm of Your Hand Volume 2 palette. I think it's a great buy. I think it's gonna be a great gift. If you're a lover of the Balm, I know this is appealing to you, but if you've never tried anything from the Balm, like, stop yourself from buying the individual blushes, get them in the palette. You can see the quality that I'm talking about, and I know you're gonna fall in love. And this is just the best value to get them in the palette form. So thank you for your time, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.